let's talk about the Tower 28 Swipe Serum Concealer. When I saw that they had launched this or were going to launch this, I was so excited. I have been wanting them to launch some more like base products. So seeing that they launched a concealer is super exciting. Look how cute this PR package was. They were so kind to send this to me, but this video is not sponsored. It's not in collaboration. They don't know that I'm making this video. I'm not being paid to make this video, but I just wanted to share with you guys my thoughts on these. And this packaging was just so cute. It's like a little paint can, and they did send me 2 shades, so I will be showing you guys 2 of the shades that I have. Hopefully that can help you figure out what shade you might be, especially if you have a similar skin tone to me. It shows all of the different shades on here. This does come in 20 shades, and it tells a little bit about the concealer on here. It's just super cute packaging, and they also put my name on the top, which was so sweet. It also came with this cute little like paint swatch pamphlet thing like you would get if you were going to look at like paint samples. I just thought this was so cute, and it tells more about the ingredients, their highlighted ingredients, shows all of these shades and also examples of the shades on models. So that was really nice that it came with this. This concealer retails for $22, which I feel like is a pretty good price, keeping it on the more accessible price range. I feel like concealers at like Sephora and things like that can tend to range between like the $20 to $30 range. So I feel like $22 is a pretty good price for this, keeping it a bit more affordable. This is described as a lightweight serum concealer. This is supposed to give medium coverage, a natural finish, and this is silicone free. It's supposed to be sensitive skin safe, and they say that it won't clog pores. It says swipe on to swipe out dark circles, redness, and blemishes. It's weightless, easy to blend, and has a hydrating, skin-like natural finish that doesn't cling to dry patches. They have an earth-sensitive pledge, which Swipe packaging is made from 50% PCR, which is also known as post-consumer recycled plastic, as part of our commitment to sustainable packaging. So that's awesome that they are trying to make sure that they are doing what they can to make sustainable packaging. And some of the highlighted ingredients in here are hyaluronic acid, which is going to help with hydrating the skin to keep it looking supple, smooth, and bouncy. They also have Centella asiatica leaf extract. That's super exciting. I love that ingredient. That's an ingredient that is used in a lot of Korean skincare products. It's a really soothing and calming ingredient. So it says it soothes and calms sensitive skin. So really exciting to have that ingredient in there. And then it also has lysine, which is going to help, I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know if I pronounced that ingredient right, but it helps the production of collagen and repairs and prevents dry skin. So you can use this to cover dark spots, spot conceal, and for all over coverage. It says use fingertips, a brush, or a beauty sponge to blend. I have the shades 6.0 IE, which is described as a medium light with neutral undertones. And then I also have the shade 7.0 K-Town, which is described as medium with neutral undertones. Normally, I feel like I would have gone within their light shades, and I would have done light with neutral undertones. I probably normally would have done shade 5.0 EP, which is described as light with neutral undertones, but I actually find that both of these shades can work for me. So I am gonna demo both of them so you guys can see kind of the difference between them. And also for reference, in the Tower 28, their Sunny Days tinted sunscreen, I usually use the shade 15 Melrose, and that shade works perfectly for me. We're gonna start off with the lighter shade that I have, which is 6.0 IE. Again, this is described as medium light with neutral undertones. So I'm gonna use this under my eyes for kind of brightening, and then I'll use the other shade for like spot concealing. And this shade I actually think works pretty well for me. It actually matches pretty well. Just gonna get in nice and close so you guys can see it well. So I'm just gonna blend it in with the sponge. This is my favorite way to apply it to get that seamless finish. It does blend in really nicely. It looks pretty skin-like, though I will say this shade, I feel like this shade, like when I first apply it, like looking right here, it looks like it's a pretty good match. And even blended out, it still is a pretty good match, but I think I can definitely tell it is a little bit darker than my natural skin tone. So I probably would go for the other shade that I mentioned, the shade 5.0. I think that shade would have made a little bit of a difference, and I think it would have been a little bit closer of a match for me. But this shade I think still works pretty well, but I think the shade 5.0 would probably have worked just a little bit better for me, especially for like brightening the under eyes. But see, I don't know if you guys can tell, it is a little bit darker than my natural skin tone, but still pretty close, and I can definitely work with this. And then I'm going to use the shade 7.0 K-Town, which again is described as a medium with neutral undertones. So I'm just going to use this to kind of spot conceal where I have some post-acne marks. Pretty much almost just using this all over the face, kind of like as if it's my foundation, but also just kind of spot concealing as well. And again, this is supposed to give a medium coverage, and I definitely can agree with that, especially with doing the under eyes. It's not like a light coverage, it's not a full coverage, so I would definitely say it is a medium coverage. And if you use a brush too, that would probably also help give it a bit more coverage. Given the name of it, Serum Concealer, I almost thought it was gonna be a little bit lighter in like formula or texture, and not that it's not lightweight. Like when I think like a serum type of product, I think something that's gonna be more liquidy, and not that this is a like thick formula. It's not. It still is pretty lightweight. I just kind of imagined it being a little bit more liquidy given the name serum in the name. I just kind of thought it was going to be a little bit more lightweight feeling, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all. It definitely still does feel lightweight on the skin. I just thought it was going to be a little bit more liquidy. I was almost imagining it being something more similar to if you have tried the Say their foundation. That one I definitely feel like is like that serum like type of formulation, because it is a really liquidy foundation. And I was kind of picturing that with this, just given the name serum in it. But it is still nice and lightweight. I definitely can like kind of tell that I have like a concealer on. It's not quite as undetectable on my skin as maybe I thought it would be, but I also do have some texture from just like some blemishes that I had, so I do have a little bit of texture, so I'm sure that has to do with it as well. I do think it looks really pretty on the skin. It does blend out nicely. It feels really lightweight. I honestly don't really feel like I have much of a concealer on, so in that way that is super nice. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more to my under eye area just to kind of show you guys how you can kind of build up the product. It does feel quite lightweight. It's so easy to blend out, looks quite seamless on the skin. It really is just super easy to work with. Looking up close, I do wish it was a little bit more seamless on the skin. I feel like it does look like just a little bit heavy, like around my chin area, around my mouth, and just kind of on my cheeks too. I could definitely like see a bit of like the product on there. Not that it's like clinging, but I can just really detect that there's a product there. I do wish it wasn't as detectable as it is, but it's not like crazy like settling onto my skin. It's not crazy showing up, but just want to show you guys a close-up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's also, I mean, when you have product on your face, you normally do see that you have product on your face at least a little bit. It doesn't look as natural and skin-like as I hoped it would, but it still is beautiful. It's definitely still a concealer that I'm going to use. I still do really like it. Super quick and easy to work with. It blends out really well. It does have a pretty seamless finish. I just wish it was a little bit, just a little bit less detectable on the skin. It says it's supposed to smooth skin texture. I don't really necessarily feel like it smooths out skin texture per se. I feel like it's a little bit detectable actually on the parts of my face that I do have texture, but it's nothing like overly clingy. I've had other products cling way more, or like, not that it's clinging necessarily, but I feel like I've had other like base products that are even more detectable on the skin than this. So I still do like this, and this is one that I'll still use. So I wouldn't say that it necessarily smooths out texture. I do like the coverage of this too. I feel like this is the type of coverage that I would typically go for. I don't necessarily always want a really light coverage, because I do want something that's going to be able to help cover up some dark spots, but I also don't normally want something that's super full coverage, because that can look a bit heavy. And this is kind of like somewhere in between. You can still kind of see some of my post-acne marks poking through, but it still does a really nice job at evening out the skin tone. It does cover up those spots a little bit, but but it's not like completely covering up those spots. And I personally like that, just kind of going for a medium coverage. So this is the type of coverage that I would normally go for. So I do like that. Those are my thoughts. I hope that was helpful. But yeah, if you guys do want to check it out, I will have it listed and linked in the description box below. If you do have any questions about this, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to help answer any questions that you may have. If you're new here and you're not already subscribed, if you enjoy beauty content, I normally talk about a lot of clean beauty brands. If that interests you, skincare, also some home decor related content, if any of that interests you, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And again, if you would like to check out this concealer, I will have it listed and linked in the description box below. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you for my next video.